So hello friends, this tutorial is for those who want to create a custom module in Magento 2. So basically I'm working on Magento 2 platform, so I'm going to create a new module, and I thought to create a video for you guys. So please follow the steps if you want to create a module. So first of all, this is my Magento root folder. To create a module, you need to create a folder in your app. So the folder structure will be app, code, and your module name. Basically, let me show you. Here's this is my Magento root folder, app, code, and your vendor name, whatever is your vendor name is. So here will be the module name. So I'm going to create a module name PDF invoice. So I'm going to create a new folder, PDF invoice. Now what is the next step? Inside PDF invoice, app, code, I'm going to create a new folder, name etc. Because I need to create my file module.xml inside app, code, my vendor, my module name etc, and module.xml. the file's name will be module.xml. So I'm going to create a new file, module.xml, and my content would be, to make it shorter, I already created a node, and you just need to replace it with your vendor name. In my case, app, code, this is my vendor name. If you don't have a vendor name, you can create whatever name you want to, and this is my module name. So I already have my module name here. I'm just pasting my vendor name. So this would be the content of your module.xml file. I'm going to save it. Now what is the next step? Create a registration.php file in this location. The location will be app, code, your vendor, PDF invoice, and registration.php. I'm going to copy this name, and in my editor I'm going to create a file in my pdf.invoice, registration.php. Please create the structure, please create the file where I mentioned. This is very recommended. And what is the content would be? The content would be this. I'm going to paste it here, and the same, I'm going to replace the name with this. Here I created my module paper commerce underscore PDF invoice, and same in registration PHP I just registered it to my Magento. What is our next step? Next step is enabling the module. So I'm going to save this, and I'm going to run this, upload this to the web server. Okay, let's create all of these. After that we will run this. So our next step is enabling our module. So I'm going to my root folder and going to check the status of my newly created module. To check the status, I'm going to type this php bin magento /module.status. As you can see, I already ran this command and found this. Then this command will return you that which module is currently disabled. We have successfully created our module, proper commerce module underscore php pdf invoice. So our module is created successfully. You can see now we are going to enable this module. So to enable, we need to run this command. First replace this with my original file name. Just a second. So I'm going to simply paste this in my command cell. I'm going to hit the enter. I'm just waiting for the message. Okay. So here what we got, the module has been enabled. Oh, to make sure you enable module properly, run the setup upgrade. Okay, so what is our next command? Our next command is this. As Magento already said, to upgrade your code base. So I'm going to php bin /magento setup upgrade. So after running this, we need to flush our static content. Waiting for this command to execute it properly. Okay, we can find here our module is created successfully and it's being upgraded as well. Now I'm going to deploy our static content by using the deploy command. Don't worry about these commands, I will mention them separately so you okay. I guess the command is successfully executed. Okay, we are still in development mode, so I don't need to run this command. Okay, so if you are in development mode, you don't need to run this command. I mention again, if you are in development mode, you don't need to run this command. So what is our next step? Our next step is to create a controller. To create a controller, we need to mention a route for that controller. So in our module folder, we need to create a new folder named etc/frontend, and there we need to create a file named route.xml. We already have etc folder here, PDF invoice etc. Inside etc we need to create a folder named frontend. Folder, and here we are going to create this file name would be route.xml. Let me check the spell, FRONTEND, frontend. And what would the content would be? The content would be this. So don't forget to mention your vendor name. What is my vendor name? Vendor name is Purple Commerce. This is my vendor name. I'm going to save it. We are on the 5th step. We just created our route, and our next step, don't please notice this, whatever your front end name and your ID name, we are going to create a template for this in our next steps. So these name would take a very large role, so be clear about these HTML IDs. So our next step would be creating a controller. So the path will be controller index.php, and I'm going to just create this path. Controller index. Inside index folder I'm going to create new file oops, my mistake. Just rename it index.php, and the content would be just to so don't forget to mention your and PDF invoice. So be sure about what you're typing, what you're putting in your codes, because any simple mistake would not reflect any changes you're doing. I'm just going to save this index.php. This will return a hello world, simple hello world. Okay, so what would be our next step? Now I'm going to create a layout. So the path would be my Magento module folder, and in the Magento root folder I'm going to create this path. So I'm going to just simply paste it and hit the enter button. So in my code, my vendor name and my module name, I just created a folder view inside that front end, inside that layout. In my layout folder I'm going to create a new path, which would be what I said, that these names are very specific. So now the next step is to create a XML file inside my layout folder. This is the combination of your front-end name, as I mentioned here. This is your front-end name, or you can say this is your module name, and this is you define the controller, the middle one, and the last one is the action. So we have all the files here: controller, index folder, and index.php file. So what would be the content here? The content would be this. We are going to next create a block for our newly created module. So what would be, don't forget to mention your vendor name because it's very important. So we are going to create a block right here with and a HTML file to show our content here. So I guess I'm just double check. Yeah, seems okay. What's our next step? Creating a block. So here I'm going to create a block inside my PDF invoice, my module. Inside my module I'm going to create a new folder named block, and within block I'm going to create a file named index.php. And what would be the content? The content would be this. Don't forget to mention your vendor name. In my case, what is my vendor name is? Yeah, exactly, Purple Commerce. So just save it. In the last step, create a template file in this folder. I'm going to just simply remove these slashes. We have our view folder, view frontend templates. Inside frontend, I'm going to create a new folder named template. Oops, I missed the S. It's templates. And here I'm going to create a HTML file which would render our content. So file name is index.html, and here I'm going to paste just this h2 tag to represent yes, we have done it. Saved it. Now I'm going to clean the cache from our admin. You can do it by the admin backend. Yes, the cache is clean, and what we the URL of your newly created module is your host. In that case, if you are creating as in your XAMPP or localhost, the URL will be localhost and your module name. So in my case, my URL is this and is this. very stupid. I just not uploaded my old folder there. So first of all I need to upload the file. I did not upload it, and these are the files: block, view, and the controller as well. Inside the etc frontend, I guess this is it. PDF invoice, registration, block, short by file name, registration, view, etc controller, block. I'm going to run this command again. Now let's run this file again. Oh, actually I made a mistake here. I need to mention this as my class name, but I put it on here text. That's why we are getting this error. Now simply I'm going to upload this file, and in order to display our HTML content, PHTML as we have write it here, I just going to uncomment this, and again I'm going to upload this. Now what was our path? PDF invoice. Okay, as you can see, we are receiving both of the content here, hello world, as well as you have done it. So congratulations, you have successfully created your front-end module. So now if you have any questions and concerns, please let me know in the comment box. I'll be right there for your help. Thank you. Till then, happy coding.